This is Jewish Spotlight, a weekly television program presented by Chabad Lubavitch of Long Island, featuring various aspects of modern Jewish life and Jewish culture. Now, here is your host, Rabbi Tuvia Teldin.
Shalom. Today we're going to have a great time talking about one of our favorite subjects, food, because it's something you might not understand or believe, but there is such an explosion of kosher restaurants, of kosher cuisine, of kosher food opportunities that are there just for the picking for anybody who wants to learn a little bit more about how to prepare kosher food, how to eat kosher food. And it's really not scary, it's not difficult at all, and we have somebody who's going to show us how easy it really is. And she's not only talking about it, she's actually done it and she's written about it. So it's a pleasure to have with us Levannah Kirschenbaum of Levanna's's, of the restaurant, and it's a pleasure to have you with us, Levannah.
Thank you for having me.
I'm looking forward to a great half hour. First of all, how did you get into the restaurant business? I mean, you started years before kosher restaurants of all different types of cuisines became popular in Manhattan.
Yes, we were a bakery first, and for 2 or 3 years, then we evolved into this was 24, 25 years ago, and I think we were sort of the pioneers of gourmet kosher cuisine. It intimidated everybody but us. Don't ask me why. It was quite a challenge to convince the kosher public that they were ready. We were sort of telling them that they are ready.
So when you started, what kind of restaurant did you start off with?
We were a fish place, and we always surrounded ourselves with very, very talented staff, cooks. We immediately, even when we were very small and broke and down and out, we took the very best cooks, chefs from Culinary Institute, and that
so you
was,
really
I
jumped
think,
in
our
with both
strength.
feet.
Yeah, that was our strength, is that no matter what, and no matter how modest we start, we will start with the best food. And I think, if I may say so myself, we went on. Yeah, other restaurants have followed suit. But about 18 years ago, we turned Fleischig, meat, because we thought that the public asked for, a heavy-duty kind of a menu and everything. And if I had to do it all over again, I think I would do again the first format, that dairy
the fish and dairy.
Fish. Wonderful, because those are the things that I think people don't know.
Especially these days also. People want the health food, and they feel that the fish and the dairy would be healthier.
Has sort of infiltrated the Baal Tshuvas, the people who are becoming observant, they always think, my God, they're mourning that loss, sort of. I'm not going to eat in this restaurant. I won't be able to eat this or eat that. But they will. They will, if they just go out there and acquire some knowledge about the ingredients and what they can use and what they can't use. The things we can't use, we never talk about.
Tell me, a lot of people, talking about things that we don't use, a lot of people are intimidated by becoming kosher or thinking about making their kitchen kosher. So explain to people, what is really involved? What does the word kosher mean? Tell our audience, because there are many people out there who don't even know what it means.
They only use it to mean honest. And for a reason. When we say something doesn't look kosher, it means it just doesn't look. It looks like you tampered with it. And that's exactly what it means. So something that is not tampered with, something that is, something very, very cute happened to me at the publishers when I was just about finishing the printing of this book. Nobody was Jewish there. It's a Stuart Tabori Chang. Very, very good workers. And I had the photographer, and she told me, I don't understand what the article you wrote, the chapter you wrote. I do have a good page that is very comprehensive. Not what a rabbi would write, because then volumes
explaining kosher.
And I explained to her that the original idea of kosher is we don't do this for fun. We do it for sustenance. We do it neatly, we do it cleanly, we do it honestly, we don't kill animals, we don't go hunting. And you know what she told me? You people are the original animal rights activists. And I thought, wow, what a great way of, and that's what it is.
Right, because really there are many animals we will not eat, other predators for sure. And even amongst fish, those shellfish that are...
And you know what is funny? What is the parasha where it names all the Leviticus...
Shmini.
Yeah, Shmini. And it says...
Portion of the Torah where it describes the laws of kosher.
Yeah, all the animals that they say you can eat and they are still here. The others are practically extinct. So how There's really something to it.
Right. So there's, first of all, which animals are eaten, and then, as you mentioned, that the animals be slaughtered in a proper way and as painless a way as possible.
Yes.
There's just a knife taken to the vein in order to be able to.
You don't
it's
have
almost like a
fun
paper
killing
cut.
the animal.
Of course not. In fact,
and there's another thing.
In fact, the shochet has to go to the mikvah. He has to religiously prepare himself before
he hates
the action.
the laws. He hates the laws too. The animals we kill and eat are herbivores. They are domesticated, nice, peace-loving animal. It's a cow. It's a deer. It's a.
So as far as the precept of "you are what you eat," this is something also that goes back in Judaism for thousands of years.
Absolutely, and that's what it is. Yes, there is whole chapters in the Torah about "you are what you eat."
Now, in terms of meat and milk also, there's another problem with that. We don't mix any type of meat and milk, so that creates a lot of the challenge in running a kosher restaurant as well.
This challenge I have survived so triumphantly. I do so many wonderful things with non-dairy ingredients and no cheating. It's never schlock. It's not non-dairy creamer. It's not that. I do. In fact,
What do you do? You dream at night of different ideas and
just
recipes?
Just about. Yes, that's what I do. That's what you are. If you're a foodie, you're a cook, you're a teacher.
So
you're a bit of a scientist. Don't put it past me to wake up at night and say, I got it, I'm going to do this thing. And I make ice cream with oil, and it's delicious.
Interesting. There's a story about the Rogatchover. The Rogatchover was a great rabbi. Says that his most difficult day of the week, though, was the Sabbath. Why? Because you can't write on the Sabbath. Because he had so many Torah thoughts that he wanted to write down. And the Sabbath he couldn't do it. So with you also, the Sabbath must be a very difficult time for you. You have all these ideas of recipes and you can't write them down.
But I tell you, the Sabbath is is my showcase. Is when everybody comes and this is the feedback I get that I'm doing something very right.
Because I know people come to your home, they want to see Levanna's's kitchen.
They have to come. They say, here's a meal we didn't pay for. I didn't make reservations for this.
Now, let me ask you a question. People, when it comes to wines, when it comes to gourmet restaurants, people think, kosher, it's greasy, it's this, it's that. So do a little bit to our audience to let them know that this is not the way things are.
I can only tell you that my husband and his brothers were on the first page of the Wine Spectator or on a very important page and I have that picture, where it said that Jewish kosher wines are winning international competition, blind competition. We didn't know, and it turned out to be a Yarden or a Hagafen. It's a Golan. It's unbelievable, the wonderful thing.
Right.
The days of. You remember that Sammy Davis Jr. used to do the ad for Manischewitz, that he pronounced Manischewitz, the wine, or is it that or Shapiro, the wine you could cut with a knife? You don't cut it with a knife anymore.
Right, no, they're excellent wines. There's no question about
Levanna's's has, once a year, has a wine pairing dinner. It is, try to get invited or do something. As expensive as it is, we subsidize it because it's like 6 or 7
Can you get me in?
Courses, with pleasure,
yeah,
I
okay,
will.
I'll speak to you.
Just don't fall out of my radar screen, please. It's a meal that we make in around March or April. It's a very big deal. We work on it about a month, and it's a showcase for all these the wonderful ingredients and it's not only the fish and the meat it's the things that have either acquired a kosher sign or that didn't need it all along and we didn't dare.
Right.
Very good olive oils, wild mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, the whole gamut of things that make life.
I just want to add on to this also, just on the metropolitan area, I think there are over 18,000 different products that are available that have a hechsher, have rabbinical supervision.
Yes.
Which is absolutely incredible. So you can go into any supermarket and anybody who thinks it's difficult to keep kosher, probably 90% of the products that most anybody is using have this type of rabbinical supervision.
It's the non-kosher who are unwittingly kosher because
many of them might be.
But
exactly.
You know this, when you go to kosher food expos and everything, they tell you that the kosher public accounts for not even 10% of their clientele.
Which is a very interesting point.
And here's the thing.
Maybe explain to people, who are the other people? You have people who want
the macrobiotic,
people
the vegetarian,
or non-dairy, the lactose-free, right? The Muslims.
You
have
halal. They are very, very happy to find.
You have a lot of people I know on airplanes also. They insist on the kosher meal because they feel it's going to be a lot better than the other meals that are being served there.
It'll be prepared better. But just to get back to this thing for a second, this dinner, with every course, it's just a sumptuous meal. It's like 6 or 7 courses with 6 or 7 different wines. just knocks people off their feet. We have
well,
many
if I had 6 or 7
from
different wines, I'd probably be knocked off my feet also.
Well, but you know how much you have. No.
Okay.
Not enough.
You didn't mean it that way.
Just no.
Okay, I want to get to your book
incredible.
a little bit. First of all, if we could just take a look at the cover here, Levanna's's Table, Kosher Cooking for Everyone. And when you say everyone, you mean everyone, Jew and non-Jew alike.
You don't need to be kosher.
Right, because
Yes.
I'm just looking through some of the pictures. This could be dangerous if we open this up now.
Absolutely, but you won't get fat from it.
No, I won't
Looking
get
at
fat.
pictures of food is
Okay,
very
so
safe.
I want you to give us a little bit of an explanation of some of these different dishes that you have here. Let me take the tab off. Believe it or not, I thought this was sushi, but I found out it's
sushi
gefilte
inspired.
fish. It's sushi inspired, okay.
Yes and no.
But it's gefilte fish. Can you tell us a little bit about...
Let me say a word.
My grandmother would not have looked at this and thought this was gefilte fish.
Or let alone come near it and tasted it, right?
Probably not, because she didn't know what sushi
Well,
was
here's
either.
the thing. Sushi is the kind of thing that everybody's like gaga about. That's
Right.
the whole rage. But you can never eat it on Shabbos. You have to eat it the minute the guy rolls it and cuts it, and that's it. Because the rice will tend to, the temperature of the rice is just the whole secret.
Okay.
Beside all the wonderful things you're going to put inside and the freshness and everything. And on Shabbos, there is no way in the world, no logical way to heat up things like that or to work out the logistics of taking the rice. So that kind of difficulty inspired me to do something without rice, something that will be very good served chilled. And this is what I did with the exact same method as sushi.
Interesting.
I put in ground fish and all the little accessories of the chopped veggies, the chopped green, and everything in the middle, and I rolled it with the bamboo mat. And then it sounds like a lot of pachka, a lot of
it's not that much work.
10 minutes total.
Really?
And then, in fact, I just served it at a party we catered, and they said, is this kosher? Is this, how did you do this? And just close it like a sausage, throw it in hot water, and let it, take it out. Just poach it for 10 minutes and then take it out and slice it when it's cold and serve it with the accessories of sushi.
Well, I can imagine
Pickled
it's
ginger.
definitely a conversation piece.
Wonderful. Oh, yeah, it's good.
Okay, let's go on over here.
Very good.
Let's look at our next. I think we have miso soup over
Yeah,
here.
as you see, I'm very, very fond of Oriental ingredients, and not by accident. And that's not only, you will find the whole gamut of things that you can use. I have Indian, I have French, I have Italian, and all of them treated at great length.
Do you spend a lot of time yourself reading different types of cookbooks?
Of course.
And you try it out in a kosher style, and then you can
Of
convert it
course.
over into one of your recipes?
Yes, and plus, so many of them don't need to be converted. Where it says butter, use olive oil. It's one, and you will gain by it.
What are some other things that people can easily replace?
Onion soup. I'll give you, you're not on the onion soup page, but here, this thing is a miso soup using miso.
Right.
I found miso is a fermented soybean paste. I find that with a lot of experimenting, that using this miso that has a very deep fermented flavor will acquire the value of using a beef broth. And in something like onion soup, where it's taboo to use beef broth with a lot of the grated cheeses, and this is just not a combination we can afford, you will never miss the beef broth, because I have found beef broth and red wine will give me the depth, that layer of taste that I want to make something
Okay.
like onion soup.
All those cooks out there, I hope you're taking some notes. You need to get some pencils and papers and...
Do you know how many emails I get for a chocolate hazelnut mousse tort that I make? It serves 25 people, and it has, I think, 2 or 3 eggs in the whole preparation, because I found a fabulous way to make the chocolate layer with tofu. The tofu taste disappears completely and just leaves its lovely
Really?
texture, and it's like the chameleon of the kitchen. It just takes any taste you want. And like this, I know it looks like a slab of styrofoam, but you have to know what to do with styrofoam.
Okay, now, Levanna, what is pan-fried tilapia?
Tilapia.
Tilapia. Okay.
Tilapia is nothing but an Israeli-raised, farm-raised Israeli fish called Saint Peter. It's funny that in Israel they call it Saint something, and we call it
Is it available
by
here
its
in the
domestic
States?
name. Yes, tilapia. It's cheap, it's delicious, it's nutritious, it's lean, and it's so versatile.
Okay, now, what did you do with this over here?
I make a crust. I find that making a crust with cornmeal is just much more. This is just the one thing I wouldn't make for Passover, Pesach, because cornmeal, and then the many people wouldn't use the matzah meal if they respect gebrocht principle, if they don't eat that, things that were made with matzah or matzah meal and
Right.
dipped it in liquid. So this would be a no-no for that. But all year round, just to make a crust with, first you have to make sure your fish is very dry and roll it in cornmeal and then make a batter with egg and whatever else, curry, coconut milk, anything that appeals to you. And then pan fry it. It will absorb very minimal
So
amount
you
of oil.
really like to diversify as much as
Yes.
possible. You'll draw from
Absolutely.
anybody, anything, any culture,
Absolutely.
any food.
Absolutely, everything. And we have like these giant curry dinners. I give classes at Lincoln Square Synagogue. I have my classroom there. And I do it along the lines of the requests
Right.
that I get. And people say, why don't you just make a whole wheatless?
So you have an actual kitchen there that you do kitchen
I have
classes?
a kitchen. It's a very modular kitchen, but I
Right.
have a much better state-of-the-art kitchen at the JCC, where I am part of their faculty. I'm one of their teachers, and it's
And you give
unbelievable.
cooking classes there?
Yes.
All right.
It's so fabulous.
Do you take men?
Of course, there's 4 men.
I just want to ask.
They come for dates. Men, prospective couples.
Okay,
New
let's take a
couples.
look here. We have one other recipe that we want to show everybody. This is an Indian dish. Now, I know you
Yes.
use a lot of international dishes. Can you tell us a little bit about this one?
This one is a lamb curry with rice, and it has all the trimmings. It will have the raita, made again with tofu and soy milk. I urge you to try it. I'm going to get you a copy of this, and and it's so easy.
I can see
And
my
then it
wife is
has
going to be
the
very
other
busy
thing.
after this show.
The chutneys, get her back in that kitchen.
It has the chutneys and
it's
curry.
so
Curry, I
flavorful.
happen to have a weak spot for curry.
My idea was, all along, in writing the book, in running the restaurant, and in teaching the classes, that you are using ingredients that are so assertive, that speak so much, so well for themselves, that you don't need to do. It's like bringing someone a dozen roses. You don't need to adorn it with anything more. Put it in a vase, it will make its statement. It will speak for itself. And so you'll do very, very little. It's not like the first day you marinate, the second day,
Mhm.
none of that. It gets
Interesting.
done. There is another thing, and just to prove my point further, is everything is made from scratch.
Mhm.
You don't need any preliminary preparation before you can catch up to the actual preparation of the dish I want you to make.
Okay,
You have absolutely nothing. You just chopped. You will get that dish done.
interesting.
So this is.
Tell me, I
It's
know
valuable.
recently also you used some of your talents in order to be able to help some of our brethren in Israel. And I think there was
Yes.
a million cookie
Million
bake.
cookies. I have to tell you this funny thing. This morning I woke up telling my husband I had a dream
Really?
that this summer we're making the cookies again. I missed it for one major reason.
This was a beautiful fundraiser. Let me just tell our audience what you
know,
did.
I felt so much less frustrated by terrorism and much less helpless.
Well, you were able to do something about
When
it.
not only me, but I caused people to do things. They ranged from 6 years old
Tell
to
our
80
audience what you
years
did.
old.
Tell them what you did.
I pushed and shoved to get the kitchen of the JCC. They were willing to do it, but it just sounded so enormous. And they had just opened their doors to the public. The JCC had just been in construction for years and years, and they opened, I think, a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. And I wanted to do this a year ago. They were new. Everything was new, squeaky clean. And I said, I think it would be the perfect place, because I was a teacher
Okay.
there and everything. I imagined to go to this, I think they went back to their original jobs, Neil and Susan Talheim,
Right.
that were doing
They've been in our show also.
Solidarity,
They're from Long Island.
Solidarity Fund. Unbelievable.
Right. Wonderful people.
Wonderful people, and great job they did, and at a
And
price
you
of.
did a fundraiser, I believe.
And we did a fundraiser. We made cookies from morning till night, using hundreds, thousands of volunteers. Busfuls of
Really?
kids would come. Some kids didn't want to go to camp. I swear to God, she was 8 years old. She would come every morning.
To
She
bake
decided
cookies the
to
whole day
go.
long?
Yeah, she decided to go to camp only in the afternoon. I would take her to the cafe in the morning, get her juice and her
Very nice.
coloring
Nice.
and her. And so we had these people, and not everybody can sign a $1
Right.
million check, not
Right.
even $1,000.
And this is all to benefit the victims of Israeli terror.
Yeah,
so
and
these,
we had-
these cookies, I believe, were donated, and
Yeah.
there were some people made donations for the cookies to be sent to other
They were
individuals.
cookies with a meaning. They were really smart cookies. And the thing is that the dent we made into the making of the
Mhm.
cookies were so minimal. We'd never had a party. We never had an event. We never had anything. It is so wonderful to be associated with 400 pounds of cookies. I was responsible for, I don't know, plastic surgery for someone, or for
nice.
some kind of relocating after the great dislocation that they go through.
I just want to add on also, changing the topic a little bit. But food, of course, is not just a major thing.
You won't change the topic. Everything will come back to food. You'll see.
Okay.
You'll see.
Well, within the subject of food. But there's a very interesting Torah lesson also about food, that we are here in this world as human beings, as Jews, to elevate the world, to make the world a better place. And all of us, wherever we are, whatever country, whatever culture we might be from, are here to make this world the type of place God would like it to be. And sometimes people look at food as, well, listen, I'm a human being, I have to eat, so it's just a necessity, it's something that you have to do. But no, Judaism says very clearly that's not the case. That a person needs to bring their mission even into their eating of food, whether it mean of course, having a kosher kitchen or preparing the food in a kosher way, whether it mean making a blessing on the food beforehand, thanking God for having provided the basic materials for this food to become what it is, making a blessing afterwards. And what are we doing by doing that? We're really elevating the food also. We're making this more than just, I'm a physical animal with needs of certain nutrients and proteins, and this is the way I fulfill my need. No, it becomes an interaction with the food. So this is why food also has a very important meaning to us. It's not just a means to an end. It's a way of helping us to fulfill that purpose that we have to serve God as a good Jew.
We are also paying daily tribute all day long to what nature has to offer. Nature doesn't offer it by accident. If you don't have the blessing.
Exactly.
So this is, and I think that just in case it always sounds so stark, you have to do this, you can't do this, we are really prescribed to enjoy extensively everything we do and to be thankful.
Meant to enjoy it to
Look in
its
the
fullest.
Tehillim, it says, Marabuna Hashem. It's like,
how beautiful
much
is your creation?
how many things did you create? And it includes fruit, flower, plants, animals, people.
Interesting enough, the blessings that we say before food are divided into different categories. So as a result, you have to really stop and think, what am I eating here? What exactly is this? Where is it coming from? Is it something that grows from the ground? Is it something that's from the fruit of the tree? Is it something that involves wheat and flour? So a person really appreciates it on a different level. It's not just a matter of stuffing her face. It's a matter of really looking at the food as having a purpose in itself.
Yes, and it will be a pleasure. And also, and the other thing is that you have to share it. You don't eat alone like a recluse. You'll do it maybe all week long, but come Shabbos, your doors will be open.
Levana, where is your restaurant located?
141, this I know very well. 141 West 69th Street.
West 69th Street.
It's between Broadway and Columbus.
And which rabbinical supervision are you under?
It's the OU.
The OU. And I'm sure you have a lot of interaction with the rabbis there and the mashgichim, the supervisors, in order to make sure that everything should be up to the highest possible standards. Sure. No, I know it could, because the halacha, the law is that for a meat restaurant, there always has to be somebody there to supervise.
Yeah, in fact, we have some fabulous Passover programs that we do. Levanna's's does in pairing with the hotels. I think that there is two in, and then the whole staff gets moved there, the mashgichim, everything, supervisors. Aruba in Puerto Rico and Scottsdale, Arizona.
Really, you do some catering in different areas.
My husband never was, so here I am. I never saw any of their programs, but everybody told me I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Now, your husband is a cook also? No. So he takes care of the business end of things?
No, my brothers-in-law take care of it, and my husband is a white-collar type. He eats, though.
He eats.
He appreciates, he really does. And he's quite a host. Everybody can come. He'll make it very easy. I cook and everything, but he will set the tone.
So your main message of the book also, if we have to conclude now, just to get it out to the public, what you would like people to think in terms of kosher food.
Not only you shouldn't be afraid of it, you'll be delighted that you tried and you switched to it, because you can't miss. What are you missing?
So what would you say, why would kosher food be different than, let's say, non-kosher food? I mean, let's say you're making something that's as beautiful as this. What is the specialness of it?
Besides some things that you must delete, that are the obvious suspects, the shellfish product, what is it that you can't use? And then you can't use cheese with meat? What is the big deal about this?
You'll survive. You'll survive.
You'll survive luxuriously, not just survive.
Right, of course.
What is it that you can do? You want to make a beef bourguignon? You want to make a cheesecake? You want to make a poached salmon, you want to make a curry, absolutely anything. And then, of course, there's the old stodgy, I think, school of thought that tell you, what is a brownie going to be without butter? I invite you to taste one of my brownies. I really do. I really do. And they're delicious.
Good.
Everything.
And I think this message applies not only to food, I think it applies in terms of, for many Jews, as far as a certain hesitancy they have in getting involved with Judaism. I think it's going to involve this tremendous change of lifestyle, tremendous change of community, of
Yet
values,
they don't
of other
hesitate
things.
to be on the treadmill for 45 minutes. What is this? We
No,
still
I'm just
doing
saying
all
that,
our things.
right, we can do all the things
In
and
all
be
other
involved in all
areas.
aspects of life and be observing Judaism and enjoying the benefit of 3,300 years of wisdom and of a beautiful lifestyle in order to be able to make and enrich our life to a greater degree.
I think that the message about kosher food could extend down the line in all areas of our life. You have to work. You have to work to make a living. You have to work to have pleasure. You have to work hard and play hard. And if I could think of what characterizes our culture, the Jewish culture in general, and the Orthodox in particular, you have to work on everything. It's not back-breaking. And then you come to see the work as the road to a destination. The road is a pleasure. The road is a pleasure, it's exciting. You meet people, you have fun. The children have good values.
Well, I can definitely see you enjoy your work.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a food missionary, very safe.
Food missionary.
I take so many converts. So I have
You've gotten people to start eating? What do you mean you've gotten...
Get in the kitchen. Start getting in the kitchen and actually cook and make a salad dressing that was not...
Do you think there's hope for me?
Oh, absolutely. Please come. You'll have such fun. Our classes are great fun.
Yeah?
Really. And sometimes the most unlikely people who would start liking something or even get near something.
How does somebody get in touch with you if they're interested in your book or interested
Look
in
up
any of
my
your...
website.
What is your website?
www.levanna'kirschenbaum.com.
That's Levana
Kirschenbaum.
Okay, .com.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And so everybody is invited to look that up.
Yes.
And again, I want to thank you for being with us. I wish you tremendous success in all of your work.
Have a good Shabbos.
Have a good Shabbos, and we'll see you hopefully very, very soon. And I'm going to hopefully take you up on one of your invitations.
Absolutely. I won't forget. I'm not in a state of drunken stupor. I know what I'm saying. Okay.
Okay. All right. So I hope everybody learned a little bit about how easy it is to keep kosher and how challenging it can be if you really want to develop it into something special. And just one thing from what Levana said I think is very important as well. Take your talent, whatever it might be, as Levana did concerning her talent in cooking, and use it to make this world a better place. Use it somehow to help another human being, wherever they might be, especially somebody in pain or is having a difficult time in their life, because you'll find a tremendous amount of satisfaction in being able to do that. Meantime, I want to thank the Jewish Book Council also for making available a place for our being able to film today, and we look forward to see you next week at the same time, same station at the Jewish Spotlight.